We back. Technical difficulties. We back. Fuck it. Keep it moving, you know what I'm saying? Alright, yeah, well, let's get back to the video, too.
Absolutely. And it's nice to take care of yourself. Don't get me wrong, I'm a health and wellness expert. But at the end of the day, our intentions and our hearts are what's beautiful. Bottom line.
I'd like to revise my answer then.
Good.
What?
I'm an 8 with a great ass. I have a really good ass, so I'm going to round it up.
A lot of good assets.
Fit check? Or fit check? I mean, you can't say that and then not.
Absolutely not. Follow my Instagram.
Anyone else want to revise?
I thought you were going to revise to a 10. But okay, no, but if everyone's a 10, then...
Great. What a happy
Okay,
world.
then okay, here's the thing. If I think I'm a 10, I want to date a Victoria's Secret model.
Well, all of a sudden, everyone wants to date someone who thinks they're a 10. Right?
What?
Well, your confidence is what's attractive about you. You say you're 10, I'm like, fuck, I need that guy now. Because it's your confidence that makes you hot. Yes, sir.
Nah, that's pride, that's ego,
Try
that's
it.
hubris.
Try
She
it.
does kind of got a point, Brian.
No, I think you should believe in yourself.
Yeah.
But to the point of delusion
I think Sydney said it.
pompous-
I think
Go
Sydney
ahead.
said it one time. Fake it till you make it. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, to a certain degree, that is true when it comes down to if you project how other people are going to perceive you based on how you carry yourself with confidence, eventually they're going to have to eat it. They're going to have to accept it because you're not giving them anything else to
But it's
chew
because
on.
everything's energy.
Right.
We're
right.
all energy.
Everything's energy.
So
We're all
when you
energy.
said I'm a 10, even though you said as a joke, I was like, oh, like I just felt that from you. Do you know what I mean? It's just, and he's talking about it with such, like, do you want to revise your answer?
No, I still feel like I'm honestly an
Brandon, you're a 10.
8. No, I mean, if I
Come on.
Brandon's a 10.
shake off the tattoos, grow some hair out, slick it back.
I would love to hear what all
maybe
the viewers.
somewhere in the 9 ballpark.
No, you
You
don't.
do not want
No,
to hear
you
the
don't.
viewers.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
I don't think looks or confidence matters.
Oh, what matters? Having a driver's license?
My ass.
If you're
Having
just
a
looking
driver's
for
license.
somebody to fuck, then yes.
Wait, your ass?
Absolutely.
That's what matters?
But if you're looking for someone that you actually
How
I
want
didn't
to,
say that. Why did you say that?
You said your ass.
No, I didn't.
You literally just said my
Yeah.
ass. Wait,
Bitch,
what?
Yes,
What?
you fuck.
I think she drank too much of your wine, Brandon. But,
It's good wine.
okay, no, but,
Someone got killed. I ain't paying attention over here.
okay,
Let
you're-
it go. It's not gonna change. No,
one
you're
of
not.
these
Because you
days,
do this every
Sydney-
time. Every time.
Sydney, one of these days I will.
Then you can rate us. Go ahead. No, hell no, he cannot. Hell no, he cannot.
Sydney, one of these days I'm going to be able to articulate such a convincing
Let me know when you
point
do.
an argument
Okay.
that I will be able to change your view on this.
Okay.
Here, let me try. Let me do an attempt. So, you two are 10s. Where's the magazine covers?
That's the problem with the magazine covers. In case you haven't
If you're-
seen.
if you're
I've been on some Billboard covers. Does that count? It's not a magazine, but like
Billboards?
yeah, for
It's a
my
start.
for
That's
Shield.
a start.
Back at home in Reno, Shields. It's like this
Oh,
huge sporting
Reno.
goods
I mean,
store.
okay.
Now hold on though, because
I'll give you
Shields is
that.
like
Sydney,
the
you're a
largest
10 in
sporting
Reno.
goods store in the
Blow it
world.
up.
You're a Reno 10.
So
No,
close,
but-
though.
Yeah, Reno's a little ghetto.
The
But
Reno 10.
no, so Shields is like the largest sporting goods store in the world. Well, we had the largest ones in Reno alone, but it's like in Texas and like multiple states. I got to be on that. That was cool. That was cool. I just want to throw that out there. but
Okay, all right. I guess you're a supermodel then.
Thanks.
But okay, if you're here's the thing, like if you're a 10, then you don't have an accurate self-assessment of where you stand on the sexual marketplace, on the dating marketplace, in the relationship marketplace, in the marriage
Anywhere, 'cause you're
marketplace.
delusional.
Wow.
For you.
Yeah, wow. Listen to where his headspace is
No,
coming
but
from.
you don't have a reasonable
Okay.
of assessment of where you
Wow.
stand.
Good to know where your headspace is at.
Where's my headspace at?
Exactly where you said it.
Try to run up on that tank.
I'm just being realistic here,
is
though.
that where his confidence is, where he just placed his
You-
headspace?
and you date at the level of your self-esteem. You want to date a Victoria's Secret model? By the way, they're all different shapes and sizes right now.
Okay, but look. Well,
Holy shit. I
So
just got
this is
Are
the
they?
we
Are they doing like the fat
We are
Victoria's Secret models?
redefining
Is that-
beauty. Right now, we are. This is a very old conversation.
delusion, slave mind, slave programming.
We're redefining beauty.
We are rewarding obesity is what we're doing.
Listen, health.
You're talking about the like overweight obese women who are.
It doesn't mean that those women aren't beautiful or deserve love.
That's not
And
what I'm saying. But
Also, a healthy body looks different on every person.
I'm sorry, but if you're obese, you're not healthy.
But you can be also fit and lean and not necessarily well.
Sure, but if you're obese, you are necessarily unhealthy.
But are you hot?
No.
Oh, so sorry, but that's
mean-
ouch. That's yikes.
That's my personal view. I don't
Okay, so
find.
but isn't it? And so
sorry,
isn't it beautiful that everybody has different tastes in colors, sizes, ages, all that sort of thing? And this is what makes us so gorgeous, is because what you think's hot is different. And so when you say rate yourself, this is why I say everybody just needs to rate themselves a 10, because what we like, what you like, everyone likes
delusional.
different things.
But most people can probably agree.
Most.
Yes, most men don't want to date obese women, and I would say most
Wow.
women
Okay.
don't want to date obese men.
Okay.
Do you realize how unhealthy being
Okay.
obese? How's this shocking to you for someone to say that?
I'm a health and wellness coach. I've seen a lot of people who are very overweight
Who are unhealthy.
having an amazing sex life, a very healthy relationship.
Sure.
Even more so than people who look like magazine cover models and not necessarily happy or in loving relationships.
I have no problem with people who are overweight or obese having a partner, finding love.
That's what
being
we're talking
happy.
about rating.
But that's fine. But you cannot say that someone who's obese is in good health.
I didn't say that. We're talking
But
about rating
that's-
ourselves in terms of sexual
But
attraction.
you asked if I was what did you ask if I was attracted to?
Yeah, we're talking about sexual attraction. We're not talking about health.
You asked if I was attracted
my, I
to
was
women
waiting
who
too
are
and still
overweight
got
and
you.
obese. My
No, I
answer was no.
No, I didn't. But it's okay. We're all attracted to different things.
What do you want to say, Emma? Go ahead. Come on.
Nothing. I have no thoughts.
You have thoughts.
No, none.
You've got thoughts.
No, I like obese people. They're cool.
Question.
It's not. Let me just finish this. It's not. I don't dislike. I don't dislike.
Go Lizzo.
I don't have a hatred of obese people.
Canceled.
I don't find. I'm not attracted to obese women.
That's okay.
Why is this a hot take? Like,
No, that's not a hot take.
and women can have the same exact standard. I don't have a double standard on this. If a woman doesn't want to date a guy who's obese, that's totally fine.
We all have preferences. We all have preferences.
Okay. But I don't see why there's such a pushback on me having. See, this is the thing. Men are not allowed to have boundaries, preferences, and
No,
standards.
you had boundaries and you've told me what you like, and I
Yeah.
also think it's important that you have your own preference. But the point is about rating. We're all talking about
Okay,
rate
we
yourself.
can go back to rating. Sure.
That's why in context, that's what we're talking about. And what I'm
That's what we're
saying
talking
is the
about.
obese woman
It's
can
his
be
show.
a 10.
It's whatever he wants.
That's
to
all
talk
I'm
about.
saying. And your preference and your decision is different, but that's what's so beautiful about us all, is that we all like different things, but we're all still a 10.
I mean, perhaps for some people, someone who's obese could be a 10, but there are generalized beauty standards. You can line up 100 people and they can all kind of come to a bit of a consensus over, ranking and determining someone's physical attractiveness. And I'd say if you line up 100 men, probably 90% of them are going to say, I'm not
Skinny
attracted
girl.
to women who are overweight
I
or
think
who are
it's so
obese.
sad. It makes me sad.
Why?
Well, some of my
Fair.
most beautiful friends aren't a size 8, and they are stunning. And her partner, for example, is a hot.
It's a preference.
Tell you what.
Yeah.
It's a
Tell you what.
preference.
As soon as women start dating men shorter than them, fine.
I have.
Fine.
I have.
The
I
last
have.
guy did cheated on me with his ex.
I'm 5 feet and I have.
Good girl.
You've
No, it's not a good girl
you've
thing.
dated a
It's,
guy
it's
who
like,
was
do what you want.
4'11". Okay, well I mean that's like
they're hard to find too.
0.01%
That are my age, that are like shorter than
percentile.
me. Yeah, no, I know.
It's a very small percentage.
I know. I'm short. I'm kind of tiny, but like,
Okay, so
I don't know.
okay, but you're gonna tell me that broadly speaking, women don't have a height preference for men who are taller
Everyone
than
has a
them.
different preference.
Yeah.
But you guys don't
Let
want.
her, go yell it back at her. I'm not of this.
I'm not yelling. I'm just like we're having a debate here.
I say we move on. I don't
No,
wanna
no,
hop
we'll
on that.
continue.
You continue.
Like
You
I-
wanted debates, you wanted different opinions.
No, I'm not upset. I'm just engaging in the debate.
Good.
But
And I don't know who your audience is, but I'm sure that there are some people that are overweight And it's important for them to understand
He
that
doesn't
they're
know
also
who
a
his
10.
audience is, you
And that's
can
what I
tell.
care deeply about.
You're not. No. Okay. I
Because you're
don't.
basically labeling them that they should rate themselves. Whoever asked that question, they're the ones that we should be yelling at.
Okay,
'cause
so
we shouldn't be rating ourselves.
I mean, if you want to break down, if you want to break down the rating thing, we can look at face. We can look at physique. We can look at various
it's getting
factors.
worse. It's getting worse.
It's not worse. I mean, we all make these sorts of judgments. It's a natural human
Well,
process.
I met a guy with dwarfism. He like, you want to break him down? He's one of the hottest men that I've met since I've been in LA. He's got the most beautiful
that's funny.
heart. And he said to me at the
I'm
age
sure.
of 11, he considered committing suicide. And he is so glad that he's still around today. And that conversation I had with him on the red carpet of a pre-Emmy soiree has stuck with me now. Because that is hot. Somebody who
That's fine.
decides to love himself and
That's
rates himself
fine.
a 10 and decided not to take his life. That's hot.
Slay.
I'm not advocating people should delete themselves if they don't consider themselves a 10. But like, let's be realistic here. Most women are not going to date a guy who is a dwarf.
Whoa. Okay, that needs to stop.
What?
Whoa.
No,
okay, that
I
needs to stop.
agree with him.
most
I would
women-
say general
So here's the
statement.
thing. But yes, and so if you believe that, then why not use your platform in a positive way to change that? Because that's the reason why that guy wanted to take his life at the age
People-
of 11 in the first place. because of this conversation.
On an
Social
individual
justice
level, people are
warrior.
free to have the preferences, standards, and boundaries they want. Some women.
I'm not telling you to date him or die. I'm just saying consider him as an attractive person when you get talking to him.
But attraction, when you say attraction, that's something that somebody else feels.
Yep.
Nobody is owed attraction.
I know, but that's the
Nobody's
problem is that we
owed-
don't give
I don't
men
owe-
a chance.
Sydney
So
doesn't
many
owe
women,
me
I
her
know, but so
attraction.
many
Emma
women
doesn't
don't
owe
give
me
men
her.
a chance because they won't even get to know them.
That's
Just
his
have a
point.
conversation and
I
watch
think
their
we're
eyes
talking
light
point.
up.
Physical right now.
We're
Right.
we're talking about
Okay,
physical.
I just want to make sure because
Oh my god, you guys are so
no, well, you're like
Shallow.
it's not
Serious.
shallow. We're also
It's
just
not
like we're
shallow.
talking here about physical, and then you're like agree with your points, but like you're coming in and you're just like, oh well, like this gentleman was talking about this, and he
No,
almost
bro.
took his life. About like his heart was so beautiful. Like we're just talking like physical lines.
Okay, so you said we're shallow.
the conversation is becoming shallow. Yeah.
Do you have fake tits?
What about how before we went
Do you have plastic
What about
surgery?
before we went on air,
Exactly.
you told me to take off my jacket?
I'm not criticizing.
No, because you know what sells. You're a smart guy.
I know what sells,
Yeah.
and I put the heater on, so it's going to get hot.
Exactly, so
But
I could
you're-
take
you're-
off my clothes.
You're talking. I'm not.
I'm smart. I know what's going on. I'm 50, man. Like,
Okay, but
seriously.
you're accusing us of being
sounds
shallow. and
crazy.
I'm asking
I
if you have
understand
plastic surgery.
that you find that this to be
Don't
one
wanna
of my
hear it.
most attractive qualities.
I'm a nice guy. First
But
off.
what I'm saying is that when you get
But if you have
for
a
us.
BBL, it's a wrap. No BBLs for me. Natural.
let's talk about your dick.
Wow.
I don't want. I'm okay. Let's pass over that. Okay.
Everybody's
okay.
on
We're
that
done
shit today, man.
I think you guys are doing great bantering though. We can leave if you would like.
No, I think I'll leave and you can all talk. How does that sound?
No, but okay. You've accused. Here's the thing. You've accused me. You've accused some of the other people
Accused of what?
of being shallow.
I'm saying the conversation is getting shallow if we keep talking
But-
about only superficial.
But that's just the flow of the conversation. And I'm asking. You're talking about superficiality, but you have plastic surgery.
No.
I'm not
Right.
saying.
I
there's-
don't think we should use plastic surgery against that. I think it's also an age gap thing.
Yeah,
that we're
that's exactly
all in
right.
our 20s. So yes, we are superficial
I'm
and shallow.
I'm 33.
This
Brandon.
is the wisest thing that has been
40.
said so far.
I'll
It
be
is.
real. I'm 22. I like looks. I like things that
There's
that
nothing
look
wrong with
good.
that.
I like hot guys. I like hot girls. And that's the stage of life that I'm in right now. Maybe in 2 or 3 decades, I will be looking for someone with a golden heart. Right now, I'm looking for not that.
But there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
I don't think there's anything wrong with either.
No, and you know what? She's right. It's really an intelligent answer because when you do live a little bit more life and you go through a lot of hardship, trauma, life experience, whatever it is that you go through, you start to realize
Damn,
what's
bro. I didn't even get to
important.
shoot the thing.
That was the
But once. That's crazy. Battlefield on the weekend is tough. Double XP, but you're going to get killed a lot. These motherfuckers got A on lock over here.
Move out there to my marker. Go, go.
Holy shit, man. As soon as I come around the corner, I don't know what the setting I need to change, but it's definitely slower. ADS. We won, but that was a tough game. Was it 14? How many kills I had? $17. Not bad, not bad at all. Let's find some videos to watch.
Zach,
My
do you
best
have
friend
do you have any
recently.
women that are like just they're really ready to date you, like they'd be so ready to date you, but you're just not interested? Do you have any women like that?
Yeah, there's.
Oh, really?
there's a few,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
He said, yeah.
'Cause they're
Just
goers,
like
you're
in
not
the
into
pocket,
them?
you know, you've got them in the pocket. They're just friends or whatever, and they're like, I really want to date you,
I mean,
and they're in the pocket.
I would say they don't communicate that very well, but it's either usually
Come off horny.
that I don't really consider myself to be like a guy to accept an offer like that if they're just like all about me and they don't really know me.
Okay.
So how do you know that?
Because like most men, we don't have that. We don't have like a line of women.
So you don't have a line of women, Brian?
No,
Yeah.
I don't. I don't have a line of women. Is that
Jackson.
surprising to you? Like,
I don't know. You have literally bad bitches on here like 2 times a week, every day. None of them? Come on. What's the percent? Give me a percent.
yeah, but I mean, let's not factor in like that. That's not a factor.
Okay.
That's really not a factor. And no, I'm like, no.
North, south.
But no, most men do not have. I'd say even really good-looking men, they don't have like a line of women that are in the friend zone that they're like kind of like, no.
Only the goers are in the friend zone.
The goers.
Mm-hmm.
What's
the
that?
girls that
The goers.
they feel like they've seen them too often, or like they feel like they get around, you know?
Lost in
You know
post.
what I'm saying though? Like,
Sort of.
and I feel like the girls that really be pressing something like that usually.
Eric, can you pull up in the infographics window? Can you pull up? I'm trying to think. There's Did you get the screenshot 2019 one? It's right. It should be right next to OKC message MSG. Yeah, can you just mouse wheel up? So this is. Oh wait, there's another one too.
Mouse wheel up.
So this is kind of hypergamy. So women are the sexual selectors. You have 5 women. If you take those 5 women, they're all going to be chasing after one of the men. They all want the same guy. Whereas men, we would happily pair off with...
All 5.
Yes. But all the women are chasing after the one guy. Generally, not always.
Maybe because those men are goers. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, sorry, Eric, can you pull up hypergamy too? I think it's also there.
They don't know what hypergamy means, so you gotta school them.
Go ahead. Yeah. So this is another chart. On the left, whom men would happily partner with, and then on the right, whom women would happily partner with. So this is kind of an illustration of what I was trying to get at here with the women are chasing out, huh?
Oh, I was just reacting. My fault.
Yeah. So
I can
Like,
see it
yeah.
now in visual form.
It's been visualized.
Yeah.
So now it makes perfect sense.
right.
Yeah, they still don't get it.
Thank you for the $10 super chat. You're confusing yourself. This is the apex fallacy. Just because the top 10% of men have most of the options, that directly means that most men have little to no options. Silly. Sophia. Silly Sophia. You're so
I'm still
silly.
looking for the point of that statement.
Which one?
You don't
My
get it.
statement
That's
or
what-
his?
I just want to know, what do you mean by that?
Explain it. Go ahead. You know you want to talk.
Like,
Oh, Lily, did you want to come in?
whose
does.
fault is that?
Yeah.
Lily,
so-
explain. Just into the mic, Lily.
Okay, so the top 10% have a wider playing field because, you know, most women we have higher standards, so we want to go for the top 10%, and men.
Lily.
Yes. Sorry. So we want to go for the top 10%, so they have wider options because they have so many people coming for them. But then that means that the other 80% don't have as many options.
Old
and
photos.
they're more likely to not get as many women interested in them. if
What's
that
the
makes sense.
problem?
Like we have higher
what's the
standards than men
problem?
do, basically.
I think they're
Yeah,
trying to say the
a man
problem
will
is a
put
lot
their-
of men aren't
in
dating or
anything.
having sex. Is that the problem?
Yeah. That's the problem.
That is a problem.
Well, it's a problem, and it's also I would also say it's a problem for women because they're not finding long-term relationships. Men are they're you often hear the complaint from women is men don't want to commit. You often hear that as a complaint. So yeah.
Women want to commit.
So
To the right one.
if you
Jordan
wanna
Poole
commit,
fell
don't
on
go
his
for the
head.
Top
Exactly.
10%. was
Don't
what
go
you're
for
saying.
Basically what they're saying.
That's
yeah.
what I learned.
And they're telling you to settle
top
if
10
you
things
if you
are
want to
all that.
commit. Oh my
It's not.
god.
It's looking,
It's not
looking
settling.
deeper than your sexual desires, basically. Like, you
No.
gotta look for something else in that.
But
that's
a
not in
man
that
isn't
top
doing
10%.
that.
But okay, here's the
A
thing.
man is never doing that.
What
So
is-
why do
what
we have to do
What do
that?
you mean a
What
man
do
isn't doing what?
Men, we don't settle.
Let's be for real. I mean, you might have to. No, let's be fucking for real. Come on. No, you're settling for a bad girl. Come on. No, you're not. I mean, there's people that. No, wrong answer. Everyone's beautiful. But I don't think that a man ever had to settle because.
I mean, it's.
Let's be for real.
I mean, women typically date across and
So
up.
I understand that y'all are saying that we have higher standards. Obviously, that means that we're doing way more to
Thinking
set the
maybe.
standards higher.
Like
than the
maybe
men
I'm
are,
thinking
Right.
about how I
We're
want this to affect me and that and third. How many men are really sitting there like, oh, I want to go meet this woman and have babies with her? I don't know, like half. I've never met like a real guy that was like, oh, I just
Real
want to have a
guy.
family and I just want to see what our babies would look like and da 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 da. No, like that's not the only thing they're focused on. I'm gonna stop.
I'm gonna say right. I'm gonna say that you're probably gonna look at. You're most likely looking at like boys.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like just like guys, or just like out at parties, or who you see in Alta Vista. But I would say like with like my circle, all we want is a wife with
I
children.
don't know. I've been very far across the world, and none of them were just like, "Oh."
You said she been
Well,
far
I guess
across
it's just
the
me
world.
because I'm
You
just
haven't
the
left the U-
baddest girl in the world. I've never had
guys,
anyone have a complaint about my looks and like the problems with our children and what they could look like. Like I don't know.
There are a lot of men who want families.
Well, of course, I know that,
Stop
but
the
like,
cap.
I don't think they're settling for a woman because there's so many beautiful aspects, and every single woman I even see here, this is like such a good example. Like, we all look extremely different, but we're all hella bad. You know what I'm saying? So, if you were to say that you're settling for one of us, I can't even hear what that's saying because I'm talking still. I'm dead. You don't care. Next question. I don't think men settle though. I really don't. I really don't.
But I feel like
Maybe you settle because you just simply
Why are we
could
acting
not get
desperate
that
in
girl
this
that you
bitch?
really wanted
Like,
because she was
why are we
interested in the
acting
top 10%
desperate?
and
Like-
you just couldn't fit it.
why are we talking about numbers?
Because that's, he brought
That's
up the
kind of
statistics.
desperate.
He sound
Wait,
high
what
as
numbers?
hell.
What's
Like,
desperate?
why are you like?
Desperate? What do you mean
Yeah,
desperate?
I don't know. I'm just like, where's this conversation going?
Have everyone, no.
We're just having a
Have
conversation.
everyone on the panel rate you a scale of 1 to 10 and see if they're higher
Well, can I
than
ask?
the women.
Okay, you're.
Because what do you mean?
Hold on, let me ask you a question.
so hurt.
Hold on, let me. Who? Who's hurt? You?
No, I'm hurt for the 90%.
Oh, you're hurting for the men out
Because
there.
I don't feel like that's
Like,
true.
what happened to the 90? Why are they getting no swipes?
Because women are fairly harsh judges of physical appearance. The dating apps are primarily about physical appearance, and women also, aside from just physical appearance, women just typically have higher standards than
And more standards.
they have more standards. Women are much pickier than men, generally speaking. I don't think that's like
Like like as we said, like the top 3, like if you fill those top 3.
Yeah, we don't ask
you're
for
A
pretty
lot
much
of
agree-
women
if
can
you're
do that.
we don't ask for much.
Yeah, we ask for very little.
So then how are you settling? Come on, be for real with yourself. Maybe it was you that made yourself go down lower, and now you're like, oh, I'm so much better than this. And now you call it settling, but really that's where you were when you met that person.
I'll tell you the proof of how guys, I don't know if it's so much settling, but they simp.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Simping-
simping and settling
Like
is two
crazy.
different things.
I mean, but that's evidence. Like they're doing all this extra shit just to get the
Got a
girl.
bag of chick.
That's
So-
not settling. That's simping. Simping is like, oh, I'll do anything for this girl that I praise, and then settling is, oh my god, I can't believe I'm stuck with this. You know what I'm saying?
If you're saying that, you're probably not gonna be with them.
Well, yeah, but if a man settles, then
Hold on. Let's just. I want to come back to what Sophia
Send
said.
that shit.
Actually, sorry, Zach. Did you want to?
Hey, send that shit. Oh, never mind.
Wait, but okay. So you were upset with the number thing, right, Sophia? You're upset with the numbers,
No, was I upset with the numbers?
the
No.
numerical rating.
I was
thing?
saying, what does I was saying, what does the numbers have to do with love? Because you're.
Let me
That's
ask.
what I was
okay,
asking.
sure.
It had to
I'll-
do with looks.
Hold
It had to
on.
do
Let me
with
ask you a
love.
question, Sophia. How tall are you?
What do I look like?
I'm
never
5'4".
answer that
Are you 5'4"?
Around there.
Okay. What's your actual height?
I'm 5'2".
Okay.
Okay.
Do you have a height preference for men?
No. I'd rather them be taller than me because I'm short.
Okay, so you have a height preference.
I'll give you that.
I mean,
Okay, height.
don't be-
Hold on. Height is a literal numerical measurement.
He fucking with them people. That shit be funny. He be having them stumped every time. They don't know how to win. Hold on, let's see what Milk talking about. I ain't watched the Milk video in a while. Shout out Milk, time one quote.
East, west, it deal with Milk. Gang, y'all already know how it's gonna go. I'm taking my 7.4. Y'all saying he got like.
Oh, shit. What a motherfucking day, I bet, huh?
Probably got some dirt on academic.
Ooh-wee. I gotta know, man, what's really going on around here, man. Who need to call Dago now? Because your herpy having ass can't call me, nigga, at all.
Herpes.
I need to know. Academics. What be here, man? What a motherfucking day, I
Academics
bet,
got
huh?
herpes. Probably got dirt on academics.
I gotta know, man, what's really going on around here, man. Who need to call Dago now? Because your herpy having ass can't call me, nigga, at all. I need to know. Academics, what bitch did you have over there playing Booty Bandit with you? Bro, I gotta know this one, homie. What the hell really going on around here, dog? The streets is talking, and you ain't nowhere to be found. You done erased Discords and your YouTube looking all funny. Nigga, what's going on with you?
You trying to hide?
Oh, my God, bruh. Look. I'm going to say this for you.
What happened?
Academics, listen, homie. If the media shit don't work out for you, because it seems like the chat niggas are taking an L right now. If this shit don't work out for you, hey, man, I'll link you up with one of them OnlyFans bitches or something, man, that I know, man. She'll love to finger pop your asshole one time, nigga.
He said,
You know, she'll give you a little small fee. Make sure you get paid. Oh, my God. Well, it seems like, I'll explain. It seems like, that's why I told this nigga, stop pitching woo on the job. Stop fucking with these little raggedy heifers. Nigga, what's wrong with you? But no, niggas don't want to listen to me now, do you? What do I know? I'm just a has-been pimp from round the way. Well, guess what, nigga? I ain't walking around here with no motherfucking herpes up on my dick, nigga. Fuck wrong with you? Boy, you got herpes all over your damn stomach. Look like a whole brand new crater just dropped. Fuck wrong with niggas? Told you stop fucking.
What is this guy talking about? Because I'm a little lost. I haven't seen nothing about this that's going on with academics. Have I been left out the loop? I don't believe that. But I don't know. We gonna have to figure this out because he talking some wild shit. He saying Act got hurt bumps all on his male meat and on his stomach. But where's, like, prove it, show, like, how do we know? What is this, bro?
That bitch, man. What's wrong with you,
Like,
nigga? You
prove
niggas
it.
don't be wanting to listen to me. Fuck wrong with this nigga, man.
Start talking about.
Nasty ass nigga. You
Somebody
chat
get
niggas just took
academic.
an L. Always want to talk shit. You put your hands all on the bitch. Bro, don't ever talk about whatever, nigga, anything I ever did with a bitch. I don't give a fuck if I scratched her across the arm, nigga, with a fingernail. Don't talk to me, nigga.
Exactly.
Don't say shit. And you know, I wouldn't even expose you for having the herpes. Because if you would have paid me my money, we would have been cool, bro.
He said,
But
if
now
you'd
it's
have taken
on.
my money would have been cool, bro.
You're playing games. Ugh, nigga. Knew your fat ass was on some nasty shit.
He's a hood nigga. I knew your fat ass.
You over there in a
He
toxic
like this shit.
relationship with the bitch. You beating her up. She beating you up. Y'all don't know what the fuck going on. Over there fucking with their...
I'm pretty sure you and Misty was getting on.
Heck yeah.
I'm pretty sure y'all was getting on, bro. And you the last person. A person with your type of occupation should never be saying nothing about nobody doing nothing nasty with a broad. Because that broad go walk up and down the boulevard, sleep with all type of men. Dirty men, nasty men, men that just got off work, like men that do this every day. That go to the boulevard and pay for some cat that way, bro. You let them go do that. Walk
going
all
on,
up and
y'all?
down that blade, the boulevard, the track, and get a stack. And then if they get enough stack, you go get some of her cat. So don't sit here and fake in front like you ain't jumping in that cat low after she walked up and down that blade for you, bro. That's nasty. That's disgusting.
He said
That shit is like,
nasty. That's
ugh.
disgusting.
Like, well, fuck.
Squares just can't fathom.
It's
this
Herbisha.
shit.
What's wrong with you, boy? I told you stop pitching woo, nigga. You keep wanting to fuck with these little scallywags on the low instead of getting you a boss bitch. Act don't ever have my name in your mouth, nigga. You nasty as fuck. And how the bitch even get your YouTube to change your fucking front picture, homie? Like, what the fuck? She changed your banner.
Oh,
Of
somebody
you and the
saying
bitch that
it has
gave you the
to
shit.
YouTube. That's funny.
Man, hey, you chat niggas better never talk to me about your leader ever again. Y'all niggas better stay in
Where have
every
I
lane
been
around
at?
this bitch, man. Don't come talking to me about that nigga no more. Straight
I
the
missed
fuck
all
up.
that shit too.
Show us what you
'Cause I'm gonna
talking
start to
about,
believe
bro.
you got herpes with him, nigga. So I ain't fucking with him.
Learn how to be a content creator.
That
Yeah,
might
man.
be a
You
content
didn't
creator,
virtually
that's
catch
funny.
herpes. I get it. Motherfuckers do shit online. You didn't virtually catch it, nigga. You really got it, buddy.
Oh.
You really got it.
So Sharp saying
Now
he
you're gonna have to
got
let every
herpes.
bitch know that you fuck with that. If you ever can fuck with another bitch, that's what you got. What
Trying
happens
to
when
see
she
the,
wanna suck on your
Warriors
little wee
game,
wee?
see what the
You
score
dig?
is.
She can't even. You got it. Oh, baby, come on, back up. What you gonna do? Let her sit there and suck your little bumpy ass penis? What's wrong with you niggas, man? Step your motherfucking game up around here, nigga. Sharp said it first, and if you got a problem, nigga, you can come holler at me with your herpes having ass, nigga. Over there getting beat up by the bitch, you beating the bitch up. What's wrong with you, man? I got all the footage, man, all the photos, man. I got it all on you, Jack.
I can't wait till he have a daughter.
I got it all on you, nigga. Don't ever talk about me a day in your motherfucking
That
life.
have to do with anything. That shit crazy. People be weird.
Nigga, fuck wrong with your nasty ass. Buster,
Say you Buster?
look like you stank, nigga. I ain't even gonna look. It ain't even about that, bruh. Just keep my motherfucking name out your mouth when you running around here, nigga, about to give bitches the herps. Got the bitch
How's
having
it
a
hanging
thumb up your
today, man?
asshole,
It's
nigga.
hanging to
What's
the
wrong
left
with
slightly.
you?
I mean, yeah. But yeah,
What is
it's
this
a good
nigga got
Sunday.
a thumb up his booty hole?
Chilling, man. I'm watching
That's the type of shit you like,
Milk
Jack.
7-4
And don't ever put no bass in your voice when you
and
talk to
Sharp
me, nigga.
talking about academics
Ever
right
in your
now.
life. I knew you was suspect, nigga. I knew everything I thought about you was right, nigga. Straight up. Boy, don't come fucking with me in my camp, nigga. Cause I got more for where that come from, nigga. It's just the beginning.
I could grab somebody up.
Damn, boy. You done fucked up.
He said, damn, boy.
I'm talking about bitch got her whole thumb. Y'all both got
crazy.
crater booties and shit. Like, come on, church.
What?
That shit shouldn't get leaked, nigga. At least do it with a bad bitch and a clean one at that.
Where's the video?
Where have I been? I've been left out the loop because I don't even know what he's really talking about. I'm the fool to this scenario, this scene, this situation, if you know what I mean. But we gonna figure this out. I'm about to go dig in and do the homework on this, Lo.
Hold on, let's see.
Academics. I knew it, bro. If it is true, Lo, but I already.
Check out Eric Dubé real quick. Shout out Eric Dubé.
Long before the theory of gravity was a glimmer in Isaac Newton's imagination, the natural physics of density and buoyancy already perfectly explained why apples fall down.
Density and buoyancy?
Quite simply,
Yeah, I know,
objects fall or rise based on their relative density to the medium surrounding them. Apples fall
game? Oh,
because
the
they
game
are
is on.
denser
Hold on,
than the
let me
air,
see.
while helium balloons rise because
it's
they
a
are lighter.
two-point game. Hold
No
on.
gravity necessary.
Let me pause this video.
This is why
Yeah, buoyancy and density explain gravity way before gravity. But hold on, let me 2-point game. 102-104 Warrior. 9 minutes and 48 seconds to go. Let's finish the video. Like I said, shout out Eric
long
Dubé.
before the theory of gravity was a glimmer in Isaac Newton's imagination, the natural physics of density and buoyancy already perfectly explained why apples fall down.
Exactly.
Quite simply, objects fall or rise based on their relative density to the medium surrounding them. Apples fall because they are denser than the air, while helium balloons rise because they are lighter. No gravity
and
necessary.
No gravity.
This is why raindrops fall down through the air, and air bubbles rise up through water.
That makes
Everything seeks its relative density, and rises or falls until settling accordingly. This is why a tiny pebble sinks to the bottom of the ocean, but gigantic cruise ships and aircraft carriers stay afloat on the surface. Because even though a
Sea
pebble
level.
is so small, its mass, relative to its volume, its density, is more than water, so it sinks.
Yeah.
And even though a cruise ship is so large, its mass,
Basic
relative
knowledge.
to its volume, is less than water, so it floats. If Newton's apple had landed in a puddle instead of on his head, he would have seen the apple only fell through the air because it was denser than the air, but then floated on top of the water because it was less dense than water. Have you ever noticed how it's easier to
Bored
stay
and funny?
afloat with your lungs full of air than it is when they're empty?
No.
Submarines
I'm
float
watching
on the
YouTube
surface
right now.
when their ballast tanks are filled with
I'm
air.
watching.
But when the vents are
I'm watching buoyancy and density and ballast tanks and submarines and just Eric Dubé YouTube channel. Check him out if you haven't seen it.
Have you ever noticed how it's easier to stay afloat with your lungs full of air than it is when they're empty? Submarines float on the surface when their ballast tanks are filled with air. But when the vents are opened and seawater floods in, they begin to sink as the submarine's density becomes greater than water.
Yeah.
Depending what depth they wish to dive, sailors simply adjust the ratio of air and water in the tanks, and when ready to resurface, they blow compressed air into the tanks, forcing the seawater out, lowering the density, and thus causing them to rise back to the surface. We
Simple
can also
enough, right?
prove this fact of relative density by filling a plastic balloon
I'm
with
from
approximately
America.
half helium and half
Oh,
air.
you?
Since helium
Yeah,
is
nah,
lighter
I'm born in California. I'm from California. I got a social security card.
than the oxygen, nitrogen,
Talking about border jumper, beaner, and all that shit. That's funny.
and other gases that compose the air around us, filling a balloon with just the right amount of helium to compensate for and balance out the density of the plastic results in a gravity-defying, levitating balloon at equilibrium
Helium?
that neither rises nor falls. Skeptics often ask, if gravity doesn't exist, and
Oh,
objects
nah.
simply fall down because they are denser than the medium surrounding them, why do objects of varying masses all fall at the same rate? If there is no
I have
gravity,
black,
why does a
Spanish,
helium
a little bit
balloon
of
fall
Mexican,
down
Native
in a vacuum
American.
chamber? And without gravity, why at the same rate?
Conquistador, you know what I'm saying? Conquistador.
If there is no gravity, why does a helium balloon fall down in a vacuum chamber? And without gravity, why exactly do things fall downwards when dropped, rather than upwards or sideways? To begin with, a feather and an anvil will both fall at different rates because one is radically denser than the medium surrounding, air, while the other
Does this make sense to anybody? Because this is in plain English. This is in layman's terms. You know what I mean? So if this doesn't make sense, you just gotta rewatch it, rethink it. It makes sense.
is not. Imagine a dandelion seed and a brick, or a piece of paper and a boulder. These examples and many others
This is a
fall
good
at
example
drastically
right here,
different
too.
rates,
Makes you
debunking
understand.
the supposed uniform speed of acceleration due to gravity of 9.81 meters per second squared. This phenomenon would be more accurately titled the maximum acceleration
Confused
towards
gravity.
density equilibrium. As long as something has enough mass and is aerodynamic enough to negate the
Oh yeah, Evil Dead Rising movie. Shout out to whoever just said that. Amen. Mr. Daniels, you are correct. That is my most anticipated movie. When does it come out? I'm trying not to watch the commercial, the trailer, so I don't even know when it's coming out. I know it's coming out like soon. Evil Dead, but Sam Raimi, and I've watched every Evil Dead movie, and like pretty much, I would assume every Sam Raimi movie I think I've seen. So yeah, Evil Dead, can't wait. Gonna be good. I mean, Sam Raimi really doesn't disappoint, so I'm not even gonna say that it's not gonna be good because, like, for real, it's already out. When did it come out? Yesterday or today? Oh yeah. See, I'm tempted to go see that tomorrow, but I don't know. Does anybody want to go with me? I live in Las Vegas. I don't want to go by myself. It's not that I'm scared. Let's get that straight. It's not that I'm scared, but I just don't like going to the movies by myself. I only been to the movies once by myself, and that was to see like Avatar when it first came out, and I fell asleep before the movie even came on. I had the 3D glasses on, and I was like, Shh. Somebody woke me up at the end of the movie, and I was like, what happened? They said, oh, the movie over. I was like, oh shit. So yeah, I ain't trying to go by myself. But soon I will get it anyway. Because the world will have it, you know, on the internet. Once it hits the internet, everybody has access to it.
air resistance, things will fall through air at approximately the same rate. But if we change the medium, from air to water for example, objects will no longer fall at the same rate. Again, debunking this supposed gravitational constant. In a vacuum chamber, the medium of air is removed completely, so all objects, including a feather and a bowling ball, will fall at this same maximum rate.
Exactly, but that's false.
By removing the medium from the equation altogether, all objects, including a helium balloon, will fall to the ground simultaneously.
Exactly.
Without
There's
any
nothing
medium
there.
to move through, the fall rate of all objects is indeed equal. But this has nothing to do with some mythical attractive pulling force, and everything to do with the fact that the density of the surrounding medium has been reduced to zero.
Exactly.
Therefore, in reality, since a feather, bowling ball, or anything else inside a vacuum chamber is infinitely denser than empty space, which has a density of 0, it all falls at the same rate of 9.81 meters per second squared, which is actually the constant fall rate of matter in empty space, or maximum acceleration towards density equilibrium, but not a uniform speed of acceleration due to gravity. As for why objects fall downwards when dropped, rather than upwards or sideways, firstly, there is a pressure gradient formed by the amount of stacked air, water, and land over you in a column, which increases the pressure, weight, and density the farther down you go, and that defines direction. Secondly, helium balloons fall up, not down, proving there is no downward directional bias. You can also prove this point by throwing various kinds of rocks, including pumice, into a pond. All rocks, excluding the pumice stone, will sink to the bottom. But then when you throw in the pumice, it will rise right back to the surface. This is because pumice has a density less than water, just like helium balloons have a density less than air.
That's crazy.
Their relative density being lower than the medium surrounding causes them to rise, just as things with a relative density higher than the medium surrounding causes them to fall. This is all perfectly explained by the natural physics of density and buoyancy, which was well known and understood long before Sir Newton renamed and remodeled it to fit with his heliocentric theory of the cosmos.
Shout out Eric Dubé. Always putting out great videos, you know what I'm saying? See what we got here.
Possible shocking black and white photos in the middle of nowhere in Russia. Now, if I show you these photos and you say, oh, the capital like Moscow, or like a capital in North America or in South America or Australia or Europe, you're gonna say, wow. But in the middle of nowhere in Russia, and I think I have the name down below. Let's see the photos. And again, if you accept that these buildings are for religious purposes to go and pray,
Golden State Warriors.
I know, man. Like, you can accept whatever you want. It's just I'm gonna show you these photos in the middle of nowhere again. Because if it's like an important place like a St. Petersburg, you say, okay, people put their resources there to build the empire, proud, patriotic stuff. But no, and these buildings are the same exactly as the ones we see in Italy, Germany, North America, South America, Australia, Canada, everywhere. And even Africa, and even Asia, other parts. And I always like laugh at these places because they have like these triumphal arches. You know, triumphal arches, you were used to see them in Paris and Moscow and the big places, right? And then you have these towers and buildings with scaffolding, but the scaffolding is like it's always the same thing, you know. You never see construction photos in the beginning stages or in the final stages. You just see like the building already like built, like ready for use. The surrounding area is full of dirt roads, and you have scaffolding, as if like they're cleaning it, or like they make it look as if they're building it. You know what I mean? So it's just amazing. And then you have these buildings. But again, this is not your typical Soviet brutalist type of building. And by the way, Soviets did not do the brutalism style. It was the British Empire, but which is the ugly style. But this is not that style. This building is different. I show you this building and you would say, what part of the United States of America or Australia or Canada is this part? Because everywhere was the same type of building. Even in the American Civil War, which was not American and it was not civil, but anyway. And the Russians would go to America and the Americans would go to Russia all the time in the 1800s. Big parties there, and lots of like ships and technology. So the triumphal arches, again, if you're telling me that these buildings are for religious, in this case Christian Orthodox, by the way, the Vatican, the Catholic world, is pretty much the same. So, but are they power stations? And again, it's like that typical building on the right, you see it everywhere in the world. The building on the left, if I didn't tell you it was in this middle of nowhere place in Russia, you would say, what part of Mexico or Argentina or the Spanish speaking or Portuguese? Because it's exactly the same almost. So what is the empire? People call it Tartaria, but it's not Tartaria because Tartaria was just a small region. Well, small in comparison to the rest of the world. And you see the dirt road, always, all the time, dirt road. Look at this. So this would be acceptable to understand, not a place to go to pray, but a place to go for energy. It's a power station. It's also interesting because some of these places in in the western part of the world, there are places with domes, but there's also places with like huge towers. The antenna is the same. It's the cross, which we call the cross, but it's actually an antenna. So it's rather interesting because we don't know. We're still ignorant in the sense. But look at this. Do you actually believe that somebody would build something like this, and then the dirt road in front of it, and then this like wooden type of fence? It doesn't make any sense. Or like the cottage there, the small wooden house. It doesn't make any sense. So, which means that this building was there in the first place, in the middle of nowhere, again in Russia, and these other small buildings were built afterwards by our human species. So where does our human species come from? And this is not an important photo because of the building, but because of the technology. This is the technology of our humanity.
Damn.
It doesn't matter what kind of humanity, it doesn't matter what kind of language. This appears in all the photos. Have you ever traveled with one of these? I've traveled. I've been on one of these primitive means of transport with wooden wheels that, gosh, they break so easily, and it's impossible to travel with them on muddy roads, and everything was mud, dirt road, and sometimes you don't even have horses. You use like bulls to travel, and even if the road is like made of stone or rock, like in this case, do you know how difficult it is to transport yourself? Not to mention big, huge blocks of stone and marble perfectly cut, like the ones you see in the big buildings, which are so perfect. Again, here you see the building, same principle as the other buildings on all the continents, dirt roads and everywhere surrounding, and then the technology of your super duper mega horse. You put like one piece of block of stone here, and this goes like totally breaks everything down, the wheels and everything. So who built this? And who built this? Look at it. It's exactly the same photo. The power station, which we are forced to accept as a cathedral or a place to pray and go to church for God and all that stuff, and the technology with your super technology on dirt road. It looks like a very abandoned place, and then we came. This one looks abandoned. Look at the dirt road and everything, and then the building in the middle of nowhere. It doesn't make any sense. And then people on horses. So what happened in this world? What's the purpose of this building in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by middle of nowhere technology, if you get what I'm saying? I know, it's just like some things have no explanation. They do have explanation if you accept the reset and everything else, but again, this is one of the first times you see something like this in the middle of nowhere. At the very end of where the desert ends, because if you look at the map, all the desert created by artificial bombings ends pretty much at this region of the world, where some of these places start with these huge buildings and also huge power stations. So it's up to you to decide whatever you want to believe, as usual. Triumphal arch in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by middle of nowhere type of technology and the dirt road. In this case, we already have the cables, unfortunately, so no more wireless technology for you and me. Very sad. And look at this. Now, this Triumphal Arch is very inferior in the sense of what we see in other places in Russia and the world. But still, for being in the middle of nowhere, who built it? And for what purpose? And if we go by the sense of portals, do you get what I'm saying? I'm so fascinated by portals when you can travel. And here, this is like really shocking to the face. Look at the fences and the small houses and the benches and your middle of nowhere power station. This is the thing, no humanity, no human species that depends on survival, and especially with the hard conditions of Russia, they would never use their time to build something just to go on Sunday to church. It doesn't matter if it's the Orthodox Christian or the Catholic Christian or the Neo-Protestant Christian world. Our humanity was all about survival and very cold winters. Yet you see these places, and my question is, how do you keep a place like this warm and with light and with proper water infrastructure when you see the surrounding areas? And I'm sure they didn't dig to put pipes and cables all around it, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, probably afterwards, in the times of the Soviet Union, like way after the Second World War, they probably did major changes. But these photos are not your Soviet Union times. So yeah, it's up to everybody to understand, like I said, If I didn't tell you it was a middle of nowhere Russian place, you would say America. Now this one is probably, when you see these type of badly interpreted cathedrals, you say definitely a Russian place. But not to be mistaken, because sometimes you see places like this in Italy and Germany and you can get mistaken. Because not all of the places have this Russian style typical. So you can, I mean, I was fooled a couple of times if I didn't, because there were some photos that didn't have the Cyrillic alphabet, like the letters of the Cyrillic. I was saying, hey, this must be Italy, Vatican type or German type. No, it was actually Russia. So, or the other way around. Again, the dirt road in front of the super big building.
And down by one, Sacramento down by one.
A human species with that in the background, if it wasn't for, sometimes you see the people, and just by seeing the people you get the idea that the buildings in the background were not built by this race of people. I think I had like one, this is so laughable. Again, it's like, it's difficult to accept. You see such marvelous technology of building, and you see this in front of the building, the wooden wheel and the horse. And then always laugh of all these places where you have only like one human being in front of the building and like, hey, take a picture of me. I don't know what the purpose of this was. I mean, usually we have more human beings taking the picture. And do you know how cold it is in these places? If we go by the traditional ways of meaning of heat and technology and light and water, but if we go by wireless technology, then it's super easy. So the big question, and this is the photo I want to show you regarding the faces of the people. These same people, these people are in Russia in this case. Do you see how out of place they are? Unfortunately, in this photo, we don't have a big building, because if we had like a big empire type building, it would be even more shocking. But the same type of people, sad, with very primitive technology and primitive way of thinking, you see them in America, you see them in Europe, you see them in South America, you see them in Australia. Sometimes you don't even see people. But what I'm trying to say is that these people, when you see how they act, how they behave, how they dress, how they go by their daily lives, they're out of place with these type of buildings. Like it doesn't snap. It's like the places were there and then they just arrived. And we don't know where they arrived from, who put them there. I do speak a lot about cloning and massive repopulation. But then again, we don't have that type of information as much as we would like, besides the typical Hollywood and movies and TV series. So yeah, I hope you understood. Again, this video was awesome because this is in the middle of nowhere. If you compare to the big capitals and the big cities. And usually people are used to see this in the big cities in the States or like in the English-speaking world. But once you see it in a non-English speaking world, then the big question comes, who was the first? Was it in English? Was it in Russian? Was it in Spanish or Portuguese? Was it in an African or Asian language? Was it in Chinese or Japanese? Or was it in a totally different language? But if it was in a totally different language, then when did our humanity start with our languages? You see my point? Let's finish with the epicness of...
Wow, man.
Amazing. Amazing. See you in the next video.
That's crazy, bro. Thought I almost had him. It was close.
The Russian attacks are breaking through our remaining defense.
Golden State up by 3. 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go.
Support drop ready to deliver.
God damn, he hit me with a shotgun. That's crazy.
I need help over here. Objective secure. Repeat, objective secure. Our forces couldn't hold Echo 2.
Oh, the wrong way. Whoa, that's right here.
We must rally on the objectives. The Russians are moving in quickly.
You are making this look easy. Spotted a hostile. 130 meters.
Whoa, a fucking tank saw me and shot my shit up. That's crazy. Let me live, tank.
Bring in the dog. Range requested as a marker.
The enemy has control of Echo 2.
Blew his ass up. Damn, I knew I heard somebody behind me. That dude's slick, bro. He's definitely on PC. There, we finally got his ass. Somebody save me. Thank you. Oh, I tried to get him. I got hit by the frag. That's crazy. He about to pick up everybody. The whole squad here, bitch.
The hostiles will win
Got
this
his
unless
ass.
we stop them.
Oh shit.
God.
Hostile down! Do this better! This battle will be lost unless you find your courage and dig in.
Got him.
Southeast! Enemy fire team! Your supply drop ready.
You are making this look easy.
And my rock right in front of somebody. I knew it.
We've lost an objective.
That is crazy. I forgot about that. Yeah, my bad.
Echo 1 taken by
Was that an Apache? Yeah. Okay, bro. Yeah, I just now looked at the chat too. I've been over here streaming with the shit connected to the other chat. Sorry I missed all y'all chats and shit, but yeah. Stay up to date. And yeah, there's like different type of helicopters in here. But yeah, I'll holler at y'all. Wait, hold on. Let me see what the motherfucking game is like real quick first. Hold on. Let me see what the game is like. Got to be over anyway, huh? Yeah, hold on. Oh, Sacramento down by 5 with 42 seconds left. On that note, I think I'ma call it. I'll see y'all later, man. Y'all have a good rest of y'all weekend. Peace out, y'all.
We're being trampled by the enemy. Push them.
Hold on, I'm gonna do it this way.
Enemy has secured an objective.
protecting them. Every case of police brutality against a Negro follows the same pattern. They attack you, bust you all upside your mouth, and then take you to court and charge you with assault. What kind of democracy is that? What kind of freedom is that? What kind of social or political system is it when a black man has no voice in court, has nothing on his side other than what the white man chooses to give him? My brothers and sisters, we have to put a stop to this, and it will never be stopped until we stop it ourselves. They attack the victim, and then the criminal who attacked the victim accuses the victim of attacking him. This is American justice. This is American democracy. And those of you who are familiar with it know that in America, democracy is hypocrisy. Now, if I'm wrong, put me in jail. But if you can't prove that a democracy is not hypocrisy, then don't put your hands on me.
Back during slavery, when black people like me talked to the slaves, they didn't kill him. They sent some old house Negro along behind him to undo what he said. You have to read the history of slavery to understand this. There were two kinds of Negroes. There was that old house Negro and the field Negro. And the house Negro always looked out for his master. When the field Negroes got too much out of line, he held them back in check and put them back on the plantation. The house Negro could afford to do that because he lived better than the field Negro. He ate better, he dressed better, and he lived in a better house. He lived right up next to his master in the attic or the basement. He ate the same food his master ate and wore his same clothes. And he could talk just like his master. Good diction. And he loved his master more than his master loved himself. That's why he didn't want his master hurt. If the master got sick, he'd say, "What's the matter, boss? We sick?" When the master's house caught a fire, he'd try and put the fire out. He didn't want his master's house burned. He never wanted his master's property threatened. And he was more defensive of it than the master was. That was the house Negro. But then you had some field Negroes who lived in huts, had nothing to lose. They wore the worst kind of clothes, they ate the worst food, and they caught hell. They felt the sting of the lash. They hated their master. Oh yes, they did. If the master got sick, they prayed that the master died. If the master's house caught a fire, they prayed for a strong wind to come along. This was the difference between the two. And today you still have house Negroes and field Negroes. Yeah. I'm a field Negro.
I would like to make a statement concerning guns in the light of the assassination of Kennedy. First of all, our position on guns and violence in general, on war in general, is one of being against war and being against violence. And this is not a changed position. If it seems in contradiction to some of my earlier statements, simply because people have not understood what I was saying in the first place. That I say that violence, war, and guns are a thing that the Black Panther Party would like to see gotten rid of. And we absolutely are against people killing each other and committing violence on each other. But also, we recognize that we don't advocate that the oppressed people, that the victims leave themselves subject to the aggressions of the criminal. and these are the people who are forcing us to a state of subjugation and keeping us in a state of slavery. And this is the people all over the world. For instance, I'm sure the Vietnamese people would like very much for this government to give up its guns, because that would mean that the military would disarm itself and stop killing little Vietnamese children and women and destroying them. I think I stated earlier that the motto of the Panther is that we're advocates of the abolition of war. We do not want war, but war can only be abolished through war. And in order to get rid of the gun, we find it necessary to take up the gun. So the first thing to do is not to disarm the victim, but disarm the aggressor. Disarm the person who's first causing the violent incidents. The United States have been visiting violence upon the world, or causing violence upon the world for years upon weak, oppressed people. And that we are against this, and we would like for this to be changed, and we are going to change it by any means necessary. So therefore, that in the final analysis, that we would like for total disarmament to exist, but first we would have to disarm the cause of the disturbance. And the cause of the disturbance is U.S. imperialism and the violence that is in this country is only a reflection of the violent nature of the country in the first place. You don't expect to go to someone else's home and disturb things and act violently and expect for your home to stay in a state of peace and tranquility. The first thing you have to do is stop your actions against other people, and then violence will stop. But I think this country is so hung up on violence and ruled by force, the club, and the gun, until it'll be very difficult for them to even pass legislation to get rid of guns. And if they do pass legislation to get rid of guns, that the Black Panther Party is going to keep an eye on who maintains his guns. If they want to disarm people, I would say first start disarming the vicious police force that occupy our communities throughout the country, where we die, we're brutalized each day, and we're shot down in the street. Our little kids are shot down in the street by criminals with guns under the disguise, going under the facade of peace officers. So in the final analysis, that we stand for total disarmament, and this is not to exclude anyone. If you're going to disarm, then disarm the police. Start with the police and end up with the military, and then that we would advocate that all other countries disarm itself, and violence will stop. Because then the people will have more of a chance of a redress of grievance, because the racist and the imperialist will not be protected by his guns. That is the only thing that protects him, is guns. So the violence that America inflicts throughout the world is now coming home to roost, as Malcolm said before his death. That when Kennedy's brother was killed, he made the statement that the chickens have come home to roost. And I think that this is an appropriate statement at this time, that the chickens have come home to roost.
Malcolm, the Civil Rights Bill is with us now. What will it mean?
Well, I'm not very excited at all over the Civil Rights Bill, primarily because it's a law, and the Supreme Court desegregation decision was also a law that was handed down by the highest court in the land 10 years ago, and they haven't been able to implement it even here in New York City or any other city in the north, much less try and implement it in the south. And if they can't implement this single law that was handed down by the highest court in the land, I'm very doubtful that they'll be able to enforce any of the laws that are now on the books in this recently passed civil rights legislation.
You don't think it's even a step then?
No, I don't think it's any step. The Constitution of the United States automatically is supposed to be sufficient to protect anybody who's born here who's a citizen. And if the Constitution includes all of those who are born here, I don't see why additional legislation is needed when it comes to the rights of the Negro. If the Polish people and the Hungarians and the Russians and others who come here as refugees don't need civil rights legislation in order to be recognized as citizens, why, it's a farce to make Negroes think that civil rights legislation is needed to get us recognition as citizens.
Well, what would you suggest be done then to let a Negro go wherever he wants to in the South and get all the other benefits that the bill provides him?
You can't do anything by legislation. It takes education. The white man in this country needs to be re-educated so that his behavior pattern toward non-whites will change, and the black man in this country also needs to be re-educated so our behavior pattern and attitude toward ourselves will change. And once a little educating is done on both sides, you'll probably find that that in itself will do more to bring about the spirit of brotherhood than all of the legislation that's designed to force the two together. You can't legislate brotherhood. That brotherhood comes about through understanding, and understanding is created through education.
Now, Malcolm, on one side you're talking about brotherhood and education, and on the other side you're talking about guerrilla movements in the South. Where do you stand?
Both of them are educational. We demand our right to have access to equality of opportunity to anything that this country stands for, as long as we're born here and come within the confines of the Constitution that governs this country. Now, in line with that, we feel that we have the right to defend ourselves whenever we take measures to participate as citizens and unlawful elements like the Ku Klux Klan get in our way. We think the two positions are consistent. In fact, one complements the other.
Malcolm, tell me why you want to send guerrillas to Mississippi.
Well, Professor Mark DeWolf Howell of the Harvard Law School, speaking for 29 other law professors, pointed out that the United States government could intervene by law in the state of Mississippi by sending troops. And since the Attorney General and others in the federal government have pointed out that they don't intend to send federal troops in themselves to protect the lives and the property of the Negroes who are being brutalized down there, it's our intention to try and organize the black people or the American Negroes in this country into self-defense units in that area, in areas where the government is unwilling or unable to defend our people. We will defend our people ourselves.
Just what exactly would these units do? Eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth situation?
Well, as long as it is an intelligently organized effort that is being made, the discipline involved will keep our people acting intelligently and discriminately. But if something isn't done in this country to organize Negroes who are fed up with this nonviolent, turn-the-other-cheek approach in a sensible direction to bring about the halting of this brutality that we're constantly the victims of, then Negroes are going to react in a disorganized way, in an unintelligent way, and an indiscriminate way when it comes to retaliation. So we actually think that we're doing more to uphold the law and protecting the lives and property of our people in an organized way than to sit around and let a disorganized effort develop.
What would